And finally, our third panelist is Hamsa. Hamsa works for Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims. He is the head of religious affairs in Nairobi West Region. He's an imam at Kida Mosque in Kibra. He is the director of Muslim Center for Peace and Reconciliation. A round of applause, please.
You know, when you speak last and when you speak after two powerful presenters, then you sometimes do not know what to say. Good afternoon all. I am good morning all. Mr. Mbok Bariako. Alaikum salam. My names are Yusuf Hamsa, so I've been told, and I live and work in Kibra. Although I'm a Nairobian, but I prefer mostly to work in Kibra because that is Kenya. We say Kibra is Kenya, and the whole face of Kenya is in Kibra. When we're speaking about youth and peace, what comes to my mind here is a certain young boy who is seated in Kibra right now on a stone somewhere, a place they call base, waiting for the group. Maybe he starts sitting alone because I believe it's still morning. The first one to come, then the second and the third. As we speak peace here, I'm imagining how are we connecting to that boy or girl in that matter, because we have ladies in that group also, whose circle every day is about waking up in the morning around this time, looking for breakfast, and it will be breakfast come lunch, because it normally takes breakfast around 11 or 12, because this is the time he wakes up after disturbing his parent for pocket money, anything little, be it 100 or 50. After the breakfast, then he needs a small black plastic bag containing muguka, and he starts his day. That day will end midnight today. That's the time he'll go to sleep, and tomorrow the circle continues. So how do we connect to that young boy, Kibra or in Madari or somewhere in Korogocho, as we speak peace? How do we touch him? Because when we speak about the youth, then we are speaking about the population in Kenya that is about 70% of the Kenyan population. We are speaking to about 70% of Kenyans. That is the youth. Because these are the same youth who will be telling us haki yao, and rightfully ni haki yake, because when he's seated down there, he's jobless, he has no skill, nothing that can assist him get employed. What are we talking about? We're talking about a young person who is hopeless, who has no life beyond survival for a day. And we want to connect that young person to peace, credible election, and beyond. I don't know how much, because most of us are youth here. This is something that we'll have to discuss going forward with the conference as we think positively about how much can we put in terms of the role of youth actively being involved in bringing peace. I think one thing that has not happened is that we have not created enough space for youth, or for the voices of the youth to be heard, to be listened to. We need to encourage this youth in their youth groups, because what is happening right now as we talk, the politicians are down there going to the youth groups. But what are they talking with this youth in their bases? These groups, they sit where they call base, yeah? What are they talking to this youth now? It's about the votes. And we are talking about peace. Have we given this youth the spaces, or if the politician who is going to give a space to that youth? Youth are equally heroes when it comes to conflict, but they're also victims. They can be heroes, but they can also be victims when it comes to conflict. Because there's something that has not been fully addressed by our societies, especially in Kenya. We still have the tension between the generations, the old and the young. The old will always think that the youth, the youth are eager, they are restless, they want more, they want it now, they want it how they want it. So the old will always put barriers to what youth wants. And that tension is still there. Youth want to do some things, they want to achieve, they want to be somewhere, they want to be heard, and they also want to be identified. But there's a lot of gap between, this is why everybody, including the leadership of the country, when they came in 2013, they identified with themselves with the youth. At 50, we still call ourselves youth because we think this is the best area that we can capture and we can have support. I still call myself youth also, although I'm over 45. Because when I speak in the mosque, and they also call me a youthful imam. So this generational tension is also creating or putting hindrances and barriers to the youth. As we speak peace also, it's one of the factors and elements that needs to be tackled. She also touched on empowerment, which I think it's very important if we want our youth to be peaceful. Because the youth are not violent because they are born violent. But they're violent because of the structures that they found in the society. They found themselves within the structures in the society, structures which turned them violent. They're feared. There was a time that you meet a mob of youth, 3 or 4, or even 6, you shiver. Maybe they're just peaceful, maybe they're just going their way, but the first thing that comes to you, they're going to rob, they're going to attack. We fear them. We've created that. This is what the society have created. This is what, how we have identified them in the first instance. Until or unless you interact with them, then now you become friendly to them. But before that, we always have this negativity. And I think we need to do more The youth need to be empowered, trained on matters gender, trained on matters conflict, trained on matters advocacy, about this Hakietu thing, about their rights. How can they package it in a way that will not create fear, in a way that will not bring the mistrust between them and the generation that is ahead of them. We know youth are talented. We have some youth who are very good in art. We have some youth who are very good in sports. Even some who are doing personal relations in terms of other in media and social interactions. We can nurture those ones. We can nurture them and make them to be the peace ambassadors. We can use sports, we can use the art that they do to make them the peace ambassadors. Because what they don't know is that they do it for fun. Some do it for fun, some do it for money, but it's an opportunity that can also be used, can also be tapped. We also know that the youth need to be involved politically or otherwise in matters of evaluation and monitoring. What happens is that we feed them what we want them to know, what we want them to hear, but we have not involved them in what we are doing as a community and as a society. We need to involve them step by step. As we monitor, like the elections currently we are going to do, we need to give them roles. They're not only, they should not only be the polling clerks, but we need to give them more roles and say how to monitor, how to evaluate, how to be there during the campaigns. I think with this much, thank you very much.